Welcome to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast. Today I'll be giving advice on fantasy hockey snake drafts. The start of the fantasy hockey season isn't too far away, so I thought it would be fitting to discuss some strategies for snake drafts in fantasy hockey this year. The first and most important thing about snake drafts is being familiar with the player rankings to estimate approximately where and when that player will be taken. The next thing you need to be aware of is how many teams are in the league. If there are more than 12 teams in the league, goalies tend to get drafted early, so don't wait to draft one unless you are really familiar with the sleepers. Drafting for a standard league is relatively simple. You can oftentimes build a very good team by just drafting the best player available by position. However, managers that have bigger rosters in them really test the knowledge of the managers. You must know the rankings very well and know the NHL depth charts very well. Managers must also be aware of their league's scoring system because you draft differently in head-to-head leagues in comparison to point or rotisserie leagues. A site I often use to keep up to date on the lineups is Daily FACEOFF, which posts updated lineups and starting goalies on game day. This is really beneficial throughout the course of the NHL season. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my scouting blog at hockeywiz777scouting.com. Listen to my scouting blog podcast on anchor.fm/hockeywiz777scouting. The first 4 rounds in a snake draft is the most important because those are the players that you will be relying on heavily during the season. Typically, you do not win your draft in the first 4 rounds. However, you can lose the league by simply drafting poorly in the first 4 rounds. You also have to hope that none of the players you draft in the first 4 rounds get a season-ending injury, or else it will be really hard to overcome. Players ranked in the top 60 in the draft are pretty safe picks, so even auto-drafted teams will look pretty good in the first 4 rounds. Personally, I would stay away from picking a goalie in the first 4 rounds of a 12-team draft because most of the teams have tandems now that could end up with a 60-40 split or even a 50-50 split. I wouldn't even try to reach for a goalie in the first 4 rounds unless you can draft a goalie like Vasilevsky, Hellebuck, or someone of that caliber. One draft strategy you can use is draft a tandem from one team and pair them with another starter caliber goalie. There will still be many starter caliber goalies available late in the draft, but they could be risky picks due to the team they play on. Jordan Binnington, Carter Hart, Jacob Markstrom, John Gibson, and Alex Nedeljkovic are all solid picks. However, their stats could suffer due to the team they play on. Tuukka Rask is injured, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to draft him and stash him if your league has IR spots. Defense is very important in fantasy hockey, especially if your league counts hits, blocks, and plus minus. It is important to get at least 3 high-scoring defensemen on your team, and then fill the rest of the team out with players that can fill up the garbage categories. The hit kings you want on your team are Rasmus Ristolainen, Radko Gudas, Jani Hakanpää, Mario Ferraro, and Adam Larsson. Alec Martinez, Adam Larsson, Connor Murphy, Alex Edler, David Savard, and Mark Giordano are some players who are always leaders in block shots. Ideally, you want defensemen who get both hits and block shots. This makes your team really tough to play against in leagues that do count hits and block shots. Know the sleeper and breakout players very well, because that is really the key to drafting a deep team. When it comes to drafting rookies, that is where many owners differ in draft strategies. Some prefer to take the risk and draft an unproven player in the NHL, whereas some prefer to take a more proven player. Depending on the league you play in and the amount of teams in your league, drafting a rookie might be a risk you have to take. If your league counts hits, face-off wins, and blocks, look for players that can fill up multiple categories and not just points. Jordan Staal, Vincent Trocheck, Philip Deneau, JG Pageau, and Elias Lindholm are some players that cover most of those categories and are ultra valuable in leagues that do count face-off wins, hits, and blocks. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywiztalkshockey.blogspot.com. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at hockeywiz777. I am now going to do a mock draft very quickly. Let's say this is a 12-team snake draft that requires 4 centers, 3 left wingers, 3 right wingers, 3 forwards, 6 defensemen, 2 goalies, and 3 bench players. And I am the 9th team drafting. In the first round and with the 9th pick, I'll draft Alex Ovechkin. In the second round and with the 16th pick, I'll select Alexander Barkov. In the third round and with the 34th pick, I'll select John Carlson. In the fourth round and with the 42nd pick, I'll select Connor Hellebuck. In the 5th round and with the 60th pick, I'll select Sam Bennett. In the 6th round and with the 68th pick, I'll select Roman Josi. In the 7th round and with the 86th pick, I'll select UC Saros. In the 8th round and with the 94th pick, I'll select Elias Lindholm. In the 9th round and with the 112th pick, I'll select Blake Wheeler. In the 10th round and with the 120th pick, I'll select Taylor Hall. In the 11th round and with the 138th pick, I'll select Teuvo Teravainen. If he's not available, I'll select Jamie Benn. In the 12th round and with the 146th pick, I'll select Tristan Jarry. In the 13th round and with the 164th pick, I'll select Sam Girard. In the 14th round and with the 182nd pick, I'll select Alec Martinez. In the 4th round and with the 190th pick, I'll select Claude Giroux. In the 16th round and with the 208th pick, I'll select Nico Hischier. In the 17th round and with the 216th pick, I'll select Jake Muzzin. In the 18th round and with the 234th pick, I'll select Joel Eriksson Ek. In the 19th round and with the 252nd pick, I'll select Maurice Seider. With the 20th pick and with the 260th pick, I'll select Josh Bailey. In the 21st round and with the 278th pick, I'll select Marcus Foligno for hits. In the 22nd round and with the 286th pick, I'll select Brandon Tanev for hits. In the 23rd round and with the 304th pick, I'll select Brandon Saad. In the 24th round and with the 312th pick, I'll select Nick Dowd. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel at Lucas Aoyang. This is how the final roster looks like. Centers, Alexander Barkov, Claude Giroux, Nico Hischier, and Joel Eriksson Ek. Left wingers, Alex Ovechkin, Taylor Hall, Teuvo Teravainen. Right wingers, Elias Lindholm, Blake Wheeler, Josh Bailey. Forwards, Sam Bennett, Brandon Saad, Marcus Foligno. Defensemen, John Carlson, Roman Josi, Sam Girard, Alec Martinez, Jake Muzzin, Maurice Seider. Goalies, Connor Hellebuyck, UC Saros, Tristan Jarry, Brandon Tanev, Nick Dowd. Before your draft, always practice by doing a couple mock drafts to test out your strategy. This helps you get familiar with player rankings and how you might need to adjust your strategy according to them.